Assalamualaikum to Miss Dr. Hainur Akmal binti Rahim. My name is Normisha Cempaka Balkis binti Ahmad Zaki from BA 1115H. I will explain about the introduction which focuses on the impact of COVID-19 on the textile industry. Since Malaysia's independence in the year 1957, there are many sectors that has been developed, including the economic sector. One of the economic sector that is concerned by the government is the textile industry. Nowadays, the textile industry is a global phenomenon, comprises of every business involved in developing, producing, manufacturing, and distribution of textiles. Now, it is also a very complex industry. This industry has been the biggest Malaysia's economic resources, especially in the year 2017. It has contributed around 15.3 billion ringgit, which is 1.6% for the total of manufacturing goods exported from Malaysia. However, due to the pandemic which affected the whole world, it gives impact to the textile industry in some ways. Textile industry are unable to collect as many sales and unfortunately less sales because not many people were buying it. Besides that, the workers in the textile company loses their job and also receive little amount of salary. That's all from me. I will pass to the other members to explain more detail about the impact of COVID-19 on the textile industry.
Hi, my name is Nur Nazira binti Kamar Aizam. So here is the impact of COVID-19 on textile industry. As our current situation that we are all facing right now, almost all countries are undergoing economic crisis due to the introduction of the previous curfew order, which has caused several parts of economy has to be interrupted and stopped immediately. One of the impacts for this textile industry is that the demand is going very drastically. This is because all operations involving most people need to be cancelled or reduced according to the amount set by the government. For example, there are only 200 guests allowed to be in the wedding as to follow the SOP set by the government. They were unable to order clothing for the event as before COVID-19 pandemic. As we know, the government has also requested everyone to limit the movement and prevent crowds. However, it's also effect to the textile factory workers where wages are decreased and some of them are fired due to low profit that company cannot bear the expenses of paying their employees. In fact, the manpower needed has also decreased compared to before. Therefore, all business firms have to reduce the number of workers in this global pandemic because they cannot afford to pay employee wages and so on. It affects all industry sectors deeply. This global pandemic of COVID-19 has also affected on the fashion designer. This is because no customer comes for a consultation and therefore will leave an impact on sales. There are also those who do not want to spend more and those who do not want to get out to meet the fashion designer to avoid of getting infected of the virus. They need to find other alternatives to ensure sales run and do not just stop there.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Nabila binti Mansur. So today I want to continue content to effect on employees. Okay, Malaysia textile industry is one of the successful industry. Therefore, investors should take the advantage of the ample business opportunity in the market, as there is still more room for expansion. As we know, COVID-19 pandemic give the big impact for all industry, including textile industry. Textile not main industry and also not essential things that we need our daily basis. In the case of COVID-19 employees in textile industry is the most infected. This is a big problem for employee because they will not get their salary. The employee cannot pay the salary of the employee because during movement control order MCO, they cannot operate their business usual at the time. The employee and owner need to work from home. In addition, for Malaysian employers, working from home has a past challenge in ensuring employees perform their duties properly. The employer need to pay salary for employee that are still working, while the COVID-19 crisis need the for remote employment. With the help of best practice to enhance well-being efficiency, the new standard should be reframed as an initiative to enhance the work-life balance of the workforce and eventually to maintain business continuity. Last but not least, in the era of globalization, computer and internet is one of the important things for employee to work from home, so the employee can attend an online meeting and do their work as usual. However, some employees have faced internet problem and office equipment such as laptop, printer, and others. This is a big challenge for employees to work from home. This is getting worse when not all employee can afford to buy a laptop and internet.
My name is Nurhayani Amira binti Ahali. I want to explain about conclusion. As a result of COVID-19 pandemic has bring a lot of impact to every aspect of our life, especially in terms of economy. Textile industry was also affected as it was a part of economy. As we know, textile industry is one of the successful industry in economy because people nowadays are like to wear a new clothes and look for a new design. COVID-19 pandemic did not only affect factory workers in textile industry but also boutique owner, fashion designer, and other staff that work in textile industry. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the government has issued MCO movement control order over 3 months for the whole country. At that time, people are not allowed to going out but have to stay at home for almost 3 months. People will not buy clothes every day because clothing item is not a basic needed. People tend to focus on buying a daily need such as a grocery. This situation become even worse when festive season at this pandemic is not as usual and not as joyful as before because government had set a limit such only a few person is allowed in a house. This will continue to happen in the long term and causing people in textile industry to lose their job. As we know in the news before this, some of the company in textile industry need to reduce their employee and close their business. The industry may take a longer time to recover. It also may take a bit time to see the business back to the normal. Last but not least, we should learn to be strong in every situation and always be prepared to face any challenge. This pandemic issue gives us some knowledge to plan our financial company to be ready to face other challenges after this. We should also learn not to depend on the single sources for raw material supply and take initiative to improve our company performance.